Evan, tell me something.
Did you know you have to hit the ball through the uprights to make a successful field goal in football?
Dahm, that's true. Welcome everybody in to another episode of Dahm. That's Evan and Aaron. I'm your host with the most, Owen, Domination 7 Dahm, and joining me is the Baron named Aaron, and he's back, Shenanalack. Evan Shenanalack. Welcome in everybody. It's going to be another great episode. We're going to be discussing the Chiefs versus the Bills. We're also going to be discussing the Chiefs versus the Ravens to come, the rest of the playoffs that have happened so far this last week in the divisional round, and really just getting around to overall banter. What's up, everybody?
Should we be on the screen right now?
We can be. When I
is it showing us?
When I press this button and it shows us right there.
Nice.
I can do that, yeah. So good thing we're starting soon for all that for all of our YouTube watchers. Obviously, I'm so well versed in how Truman does this thing. Luckily, he's got the stream deck set up now, so it's not a complete maze, but it's still getting a little bit difficult for you, boy. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing?
Pretty good. Another AFC championship game, 6 years in a row.
That's just insane, isn't it?
First one on the road is the more insane thing, I think.
Yeah, that is crazy. Let me get my sticky notes out of my back pocket. So, yeah, but I mean, what an insane game too. Aaron, you were there watching it with me. What an awful game. Evan, you were there too. Boy, was that not fun. I mean, what an exciting game, but the Chiefs just, I felt like the Chiefs could have won that by 14.
I agree
made it a
with
lot
you.
easier on us.
Yeah.
Should have been double digits. I can think of a specific play that might have made it go
Oh, what's that one, Evan?
3 points instead of, let's say, 10.
Yeah,
You know.
So, let's get right into it. Chiefs versus Bills takeaways. So, really just how was that game making you feel? Any raw emotions you have just from Chiefs versus Bills? Obviously, Chiefs win 27-24, meaning my prediction last week of 24-21 was only 6 total points off.
Yeah,
First of all.
honestly, I was thinking man, why didn't I just bet on this game being exactly 27-24 both ways or exactly 51 points? That was exactly how it felt like it was going the entire time. We're going to get to a field goal, and if he makes it, then we're going to overtime, or we're going to a game-winning drive, and if he doesn't, then it ends right there. So, it felt like a solid performance from everybody around, except for one person, but everybody played a 90 grade for me. If I'm PFF, obviously I'm not, because PFF is dumb and gives out dumb grades. But yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked more like how you expect the Chiefs to look after the last few years.
Yeah.
Whereas this season, it's just kind of been all over the place.
Right.
Really felt like a return to form. The weird thing about the game, though, is a lot of the scoring was in the first half.
Yeah.
And then the defenses really cracked down in the second half. I feel like it usually goes the other way around, where it starts out low scoring, and then if you go back to that 13 seconds game, there was 40 points scored in the last 3 minutes of actual game.
Yeah, it really felt that way. But overall, pretty balanced game. So, Chiefs 14 points in the second half. The Bills only 7. It just felt like a lot more because the game was so close. But, 14 points in the first half for the Bills and only 13 for the Chiefs. It was pretty close the whole way through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But, very exciting game for nervous watchers like myself who tend to use expletives during the game. Gosh, that was just awful. And the worst part was that both teams were playing well. There was that 3rd and 13 throw by Josh Allen, which just could not have been a more perfect throw, to the front corner of the end zone.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and a ridiculous play from their draft pick.
Yeah, James Cook running his life depended on it.
Right, yeah.
When it's kind of I know he was good this year, and he ran for a lot of yards, he ran for well over 1,000, and is a Pro Bowler, I'm pretty sure. but he like never seemed like, you know, he's
didn't
going to
think
be
he would ever be that
the dominant performance of the game. And
Right.
like, if I don't understand why teams just get away from running the ball when you're getting 6 yards on it. Like, it was just so confounding for the Bills to be like, no, screens will work. And it's like,
And to be fair, for the Bills, the screens were working. And then, big time players make big time plays in big time spots. And the Bills' biggest players showed up a little bit, but when it really came down to the very clutch plays, like the really long balls, Josh Allen at the end of that game, when their objectives should have been number 1, score a touchdown, and number 2, kick a field goal, but make it easy. They went for the big play twice in a row, missed twice, and then you're at 3rd and 13 with the game on the line, and it was over from there. So, and then that really weird, the funniest part about the whole game is that weird, 4th down call when they faked the punt.
Yeah.
And he stopped them. And then you have to remember, on that drive, the Chiefs got their play extended from the pass interference penalty, which probably shouldn't have been pass interference because he was not 5 yards down the field. That's legal contact. But that was also the drive where McCole Hardman fumbled out of bounds.
Yep.
So, everybody wins. The Bills make a bad play. Chiefs don't capitalize. Chiefs get bailed out by the refs, and the refs people can't say anything because the Chiefs didn't score any points on that drive.
Yeah. It was a real ball don't lie moment, honestly. Yeah. And, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But we have to give his Zay flowers to Justin Reed. Like, that guy is a dog, and not allowing anything on those plays. Snead having great tackles. See, and here's the thing too, this team is so good at tackling.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking just through box scores, and that's what caught my eye so much from this weekend is like a lot of teams average around 40 to 50 tackles during their game. We had like 84 total tackles. And like those are like combining the like solo and assisted and everything like that, but like it was well and above everybody else's because like we were getting them down in open space, especially in those moments. So.
And that actually kind of made the game a little frustrating at times because, like, you're tackling them every play, but they're getting, like, 6 yards on first down and then they're making these really long extended drives. Whereas, like, other times it's like, oh, they get a 20-yard bomb and then they go 3 and out from there. So,
Yeah, when it really came down to it, it was a game of inches,
Yeah.
The Bills, like I said, Stephon Diggs on that deep throw just drops it. Cold weather, understandable drop, but like I said last week, when I talked about how that one catch for MVS was going to make a difference, he had 2 huge catches in this game. And
huge.
It just really opened up the field. It opened up Rashee Rice. It opened up Travis Kelce. I mean, he had a great game, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. That week of rest looked like it really mattered for him. And just, each team, everybody played really well, and it came down to really minute details. If McCole Hardman doesn't fumble, the game isn't close. It's over. If Tyler Bass doesn't miss that field goal, I think people need to remember, there was 2 minutes left in that game, and the Chiefs had 2 timeouts. So there was a whole lot of time for the Chiefs to get down the field, really stall, and kick a game winner.
Yeah.
And also, with new overtime rules, it wouldn't have even been over if the Chiefs failed to score. So, but, great game for the neutrals. Awful game for, I think, both fan bases up until, the 90-second mark for Chiefs fans.
Right.
But, did you see that guy that got the Bills championship tattoo?
No.
Please stop doing that.
Oh, my gosh.
If you're listening to Dahm, that's true, and you're wondering, hey, Owen, at some point, should I, before the season, get a Chiefs Super Bowl tattoo? I'm going to tell you no. I don't care if we resurrect prime Randy Moss and put him on the Chiefs team, and then get prime
Darrell Revis.
Yeah, prime Darrell
Lawrence
Revis.
Taylor.
I don't care if they sim this and it's the Montreal whatever the hell the Montreal Alouettes versus the all Chiefs of all time. Do not get a tattoo because it's still any given Sunday. But but even though I think people thought the Bills were the better team, and I don't think the Bills were the better team at any point in that game.
Yeah.
No.
I think you have an argument for the first half, but the second half started and the Chiefs go down immediately, get a touchdown. That's when I knew we had a really, really good chance of winning that game.
Right.
All right. Well, as you all know, the Chiefs are on to the AFC Championship game where they'll be facing the Ravens. So, we're going to do our Chiefs versus Ravens preview. Let me see what this next slide is. Okay, good. So, Chiefs playing the Ravens. Just right off the rip, how are you guys feeling about this game?
Feeling okay. The Ravens have looked pretty good, like especially the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember their last loss, but it was probably to someone like the Steelers or...
It was the last game of the season when they rested all of their players.
Yeah,
but before that, it was the 33-31 Browns game.
Okay, yeah. So, a little bit nervous. This is, like, obviously, again, on the road. It's not a team that we've played in the playoffs before.
No.
And it's been a couple years since we've even played the Ravens.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
I think
the last time we played him was the CEH fumble game.
CEH fumble game,
which was when he was a really productive player for us. So it was kind of shocking that he fumbled there.
Right. So I don't know what to think. Like, obviously, we've kind of thought about the Ravens as being playoff chokers the last few years, but I mean, they got a pretty nice W this weekend, and they get a host at home again this week. So
personally, I'm feeling really good about this game. I have not bought into the Ravens anymore because of their win against Houston, because the big thing is they beat a rookie quarterback with a team that I can't name more than like 6 players on, and especially any on defense. Yeah, like
here, let me look up you keep
I know their
Bills defenses.
Yeah, I know the I know the Texans playmakers, Nico Collins, and but their running back is Devin Singletary. That dude ran for nothing, and nothing about that win convinces me at all that the Ravens are scarier than they were. The main thing was they didn't make CJ Stroud turn over the ball at all. The Texans had no turnovers in that game, so all they were doing were punting and then had downs at the end of the game. But
yeah, so for reference,
to
back up your point, in Pro Football Reference, points for the Texans defense is number 11. The Chiefs defense is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of yards, the Texans defense is number 14. The Chiefs defense is once again number 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot different for Lamar Jackson in that offense playing against Kansas City.
Yeah, and I guess the Texans have really young guys on defense, like Derek Stingley, the number 2 overall pick, 3 from
last year.
LSU, and then they got Will Anderson, of course, in the trade. So Houston was a very well put together team.
They're going to be good in the future. They just weren't ready now.
Yeah, they weren't ready at all. Like, very much well ahead. Had a great season. They can't complain at all, and I'm sure their fans are pretty happy with how it turned out and with Stroud. But Baltimore did not make them turn the ball over. They didn't sack CJ Stroud at all either. So you've got 2 things that really kill an offense, and Baltimore wasn't able to do that at all. And everybody says they've got this great defense. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't.
Technically, per stats, they are number 1.
Yes.
In points for.
Yes, and I just wonder, did they not play the right competition at the right time?
They didn't play a first-place schedule, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They turned over Brock Purdy 4 times, which is like what you expect from Brock Purdy, but hasn't really been the case in the NFL.
Speaking of Brock Purdy, I want to get into that just real quick. I think that Brock Purdy showed that he is by far the worst quarterback left in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that last game against the Packers showed that even the Packers are also not ready. And if the Packers would have executed better, they probably should have won that game. Mm-hmm. But neither team really deserved to win. But I think that the Packers deserved to win less than the Niners did.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you that if Brock Purdy in this NFC Championship game, if they win against the Lions somehow, I will not be worried about whoever they play, either the Chiefs or the Ravens, that they'll be winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'd say I'm more worried about the Ravens than either of the NFC teams right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I would still say I'm more worried about the 49ers, because if you look at that defense,
it's pretty scary.
They have Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner. Sorry, and
Charvarius Ward.
Charvarius Ward. Like the dudes they have on defense, they feel better than they were when we faced them in 2020 for
Right.
sure. And like it's just the only thing with the 49ers is if you can get a lead on them, then you're in a
winning.
good shape because that team is not built back to come back at all. It is just Kyle Shanahan's like, let me take your brain, shove some stuff into it about exactly what we're going to do, and then don't do anything else. But then if that's not working, we'll see what happens. So,
Right, and that's kind of where we get into the point where we're talking about why coaching and quarterback matters. Because like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have shown that they can audible out of things and change up for situations when it's needed. Like that one Bills game in the regular season where the Chiefs actually won. No, actually, the 2020 playoffs when we. Oh my gosh, I'm just slamming buttons here with my elbow. Hopefully, I didn't press anything too bad. Oh, okay. I just pressed that button. That doesn't matter. Okay, cool. But in the 2020 playoffs when we beat the Bills, and Andy just found out that if we ran the ball like the whole game, that we couldn't lose, and so we ran the ball the entire game and beat the Bills. And this game kind of required the same thing. Kind of shied away from it. Kind of driving the fans a little bit insane. But he got a lot less cute after that McColl fumble. Gave it to Pacheco 3 straight times to win the game. And yeah, I just don't think the 49ers are ready for that. Okay, moving on a little bit here. So we're going to get into the 3 good signs that I have found for a Chiefs win. So, hold on, let me pull that up. Okay, so number 1, Kelsey's back. That week of rest really looked like it did numbers for him. He was averaging, 53 yards a game. Obviously, 2 touchdowns, 75 yards. Just put me into your mindset about what you thought about Kelsey's performance.
I mean, back to what? Because he's not gonna. I don't think he's back to that. I think the miles have shown up, and the All-Pro to me, in my opinion of an All-Pro Kelsey, and what I think about is 10 receptions, 120 yards, touchdown.
Sure, but he's been dropping the ball recently. No drops at all this last game.
I mean, that's a good point. No drops, but that's what I would expect from him too, is to have no drops, like right in the hands. I don't know why that's been happening, but yeah, I think like he can't be the number 1 option. We do need Rashee Rice to really he can't be the guy that is being targeted on these routes. Maybe against Baltimore, because I don't know who they have covering tight ends at this point because Marlon Humphrey's out. So, and their back 4 aren't that dangerous ones. It's Roquan Smith, and then I guess their other All-Pro is Hamilton. So, it depends on who's going to be covering him. But
I don't care who's covering Travis Kelce. To me, Travis Kelce is that 2020 Gronk right now. He should be declining. He's going to catch 2 touchdowns. He's going to make some plays that you're like, son of a bitch. This guy's a billion fucking years old. How is he making these plays? He's going to make it.
Okay.
More of a red zone target now than a drive you down the field type guy.
Sure, but
I mean, he's still pretty good.
I think he's nursing an injury. I think that he feel the season's a little bit long for him. I think his age is catching up to him a little bit, but I still think he's going to be great next year, and he's definitely not even close to done. But yeah, I think I don't know, man. He's just still so good. So that's my first sign, is that Travis Kelce's a good football player. My second good sign, if I could stop throwing away the freaking script here. Did I send you a screenshot?
Yeah.
Let me just check my screenshot here. Oh, okay, sweet. I have a screenshot. I can stop doing that. Sweet. Okay, number 2. The Chiefs have an absolutely excellent defense, and the defense is levels better than the Texans. So, Lamar Jackson rushed for 100 yards against the Texans defense. He's not going to do that against this Chiefs defense. So, yeah, I just think that the defense and also showed up great in the second half. Was getting a little dicey there in the first half. That's what happens when your quarterback only throws checkdowns against you. It's kind of hard to guard when one of your star linebackers goes out with a neck injury. By the way, Willie Gay did tweet that he's going to be playing.
That's good.
In Baltimore.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good sign for sure.
So that is another good sign. And our last good sign is that we only had one giveaway and no drops.
Yeah. And like if you look at the two, because we had one kind of meaningless one from Clyde in the first playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Like the McColl one, obviously situationally seems more meaningful, but it's also not at a point where like, hey, if the Chiefs don't score there, they're not going to win the game because we're up 3 when that happens. I think
It didn't end up mattering.
right. So not making crucial turnovers or like turnovers at terrible times, like when you need to get this in.
It wasn't one of your top impact players making that play.
Yeah.
I would also throw a fourth sign on there, or like a 3B, in that we only had 3 penalties for 15 yards. Like none of the penalties were drive killers at all.
Right.
That's the thing, is like
That
having
is big.
no holding calls, no false start calls that are killing those drives. Like we got sloppy in the games that we started losing.
They just looked locked in. I mean, even though McColl made that mistake, he's getting twisted around. I've kind of softened. Like, I was really frustrated at the time. Like, I still don't think it was a great decision. I don't care if Pacheco was hurt on that previous play. I think he kind of pulled a hammy there just a little bit.
Hyperextend.
But so he was hurt. He wasn't able to run the ball. I don't care. Give it up the middle with Clyde. Let Deneric Prince touch it. McColl already fumbled, and so he went to the Andy Reid school of, we're going to give this guy another opportunity to make a play. Unfortunately, he didn't make a play, but we're going to see more of McColl Hardman. He's not done. We're going to see him. He's going to have a catch or two, and I'm going to put him squarely in the MVS box. I think that Coach Reid is going to give him an opportunity to make a play, and I think he's going to make it. Because I think that's the whole theme of this whole Chiefs team this entire year, is that there's been disappointments and setbacks. But all of these players, including the defense, especially like Chris Jones, Chris Jones, people say, oh, he didn't really have too much of an impact that last game. The 2 batted balls he had were massive.
Oh, yeah.
Massive. It stopped a touchdown on one of them and stopped a drive on the other one. Like, his batted ball led to the missed field goal, and his batted ball also led to a field goal in the first half.
Yeah. I wasn't understanding that when I saw people saying, like, why didn't Chris Jones do anything? I'm like, did you not see him shove that left tackle right into Josh Allen, and like that basically caused him to
underthrow that ball.
Underthrow that ball to the end zone. So.
I think people say a lot of the same things about like Aaron Donald. It's like, oh, he needs to be getting 2 sacks a game. It's like, well, man, everyone knows he's the best player on that defense. So he's going to get double teamed every time.
Sometimes just eating 2 blocks is all you need from him.
Right, exactly. So, and I think, the Bills' O-line isn't bad at all in any stretch. They had a really healthy O-line in that game. Obviously they had a lot of players out on their defense, and that really showed for them. And then they had players get hurt in the game, which, didn't really help them. But that's also why I have faith in the Chiefs defense, because we've seen Chiefs players go out, and our 3s and 4s have made plays. I mean, remember that game where Jack Cochran was in against the Raiders? Even though we did end up losing that game, it was not the defense's fault at all, because our backups were going crazy. And so I have confidence that if our starters go out, we will have somebody to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's my final good sign. Unfortunately, I liked what you did with the 4B there, Aaron. That was good. Yeah. But unfortunately, guys, we do have to get to the 3 signs as well. So, first of all, the Ravens, they do have the number 1 defense in the NFL. You might say, oh, well, I'm not sure, if they've played the same caliber of teams. They definitely haven't. But they did, dominate the Niners and really change the national narrative on what everybody thought the 49ers were and who the Ravens were. Because going into that game, we were going to be like, everyone was really expecting the Ravens to lose by, 10, and then we'd be like, oh, okay, see, we knew the Ravens weren't a real team. But then the Ravens just kind of cruised on to the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my number 1 bad sign. Is that if this Tooney injury is serious, which luckily the word has gone out since I wrote the podcast script, that Tooney's pectoral injury is just a strain. It's not a grade 1 or grade 2 tear at all. So he should be able to play, albeit through some pain, in Baltimore. I'm expecting him to play. Obviously, I'm not a medical doctor or anything. But the Ravens' D-line is really good.
It is really good. They've got the guy whose name I thought about trying to pronounce, and there's no way possible. He's got 13 sacks, and they can get pressure. Roquan Smith is very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I really wonder if it's, they got to play Jake Browning and Kenny Pickett and a hodgepodge of Cleveland Browns quarterbacks 6 times. So I think for sure. You should not underestimate this defense at all. You're going to be in a lot of trouble if you do. But are you going
to do better against the Texans than they did?
Yeah. Are you going to be able to get the ball down the field? Are you going to have any times where the pressure is going to get to him? Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league against pressure, so we'll see.
What I want to see is how they deal with Justin Reed, because Justin Reed is showing that he wants that second ring really badly, and he was thumping guys on the Bills. I thought he knocked Smith out of the game with that one hit. So I'm Smith, right?
Smith.
Who's Smith?
Shakir?
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought his last name was Shakir Smith.
Oh, no, I think it's just Shakir.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. Yes, Shakir. I thought he knocked him out of the game. I mean, he laid one on him. And my favorite part about Justin Reed is that they're all clean hits. And he's just slamming his shoulder right into you. So, OBJ takes one of those, man. He's tearing all of his chest muscles. He's done.
There's 2 people on this Ravens offense that are worrisome, and that's Lamar and Zay Flowers. And I don't think there's another person that I would consider a threat to a conference championship caliber defense.
And Trent McDuffie's not hurt. So, but anyway, we're talking about bad signs here, guys. Be sad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That was bad sign number 1, is that the Ravens defense is really good. I agree with you that I think the Bills were the biggest obstacle for the Chiefs in this playoffs, but that was my number 1. My number 2 was that Tooney and Gay are injured. Since I wrote this script, both of them have said they are playing. So I guess bad sign number 2 ain't so bad.
You're really bad at writing bad signs or bad omens.
Well, the news came out by the time I wrote the script. And my number 3 bad sign is that the Ravens have the least points allowed and the 4th most points for on offense. The Chiefs are number 2 on offense, but the Ravens.
The Chiefs have the 2nd most points for this year.
Let me double check on that. It's the second. Sorry, it's the 2nd least points allowed. On offense. Yeah, sorry. On defense.
Okay.
Only one team has allowed fewer points than the Chiefs this year.
And that's the Ravens.
I believe that is
okay.
Yes. But yeah, so I want everyone to take that into account when thinking about this game. The Chiefs defense was really good.
Yeah.
Everything's starting to click. But the Ravens defense is really good. The opportunity for Patrick Mahomes to make a mistake is there. The opportunity for their defense to make a difference is also there. So I am obviously still worried about this game. It's a playoff game. It's going to be tough. But most of all, I am worried about just in general because it's sports. Vincent?
What's up? Are you ready for your Bengals bite?
The Bengals bite?
No, sadly no Bengals bite.
I heard Joe Burrow went off in the imaginary playoffs.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
I did see that. They got a W.
But something that you said that struck me as odd was that you said that Lamar rushed for 100 whatever yards, and you said that's not going to happen. Fucking Josh Allen rushed for fucking 76, and he's not Lamar.
Yeah, I'm aware. Josh Allen actually.
So what do you mean? Quarterbacks are rushing all over the fucking Chiefs
defense.
Josh
Allen actually is the best rushing quarterback in the league.
I mean, probably, but.
Does he have Jalen Hurts touchdown numbers?
No, he doesn't. But everyone always talks about Lamar's rushing numbers when really Josh Allen is actually the best rushing quarterback in the league. Kind of surprising. Yeah. But
motherfucker's tall. It's a lot easier to rush when you're tall.
I think that the Chiefs are going to use the strategy that they normally use against Lamar, which is make him throw the ball. And I think that is Lamar's weakness, is that he's a good quarterback, but let's not get it twisted. He can throw the ball. But I don't think the Chiefs can lose the game if they completely take away Lamar's rushing.
Yeah. Well, and people bash the Chiefs receivers. The Ravens have 2 receivers that they've drafted in the first 4 rounds in like the past like 5 years, Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. Those guys don't do anything. Like they actually don't do anything, and so they are throwing to Mark Andrews is probably going to be out again.
Yep.
And so they're throwing to Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely, and like so then you ask like, okay, make them throw to who? Like I think Lamar with like very good wide receivers could throw for 4,000 yards and rush for another 1,500 or something like that. Like just something crazy that where everything would be opened up. But yeah, I'm not worried about how to contain him when like the weapons on the Baltimore Ravens are not something that
It'll certainly be
are
interesting.
good.
It'll certainly be interesting.
Yeah, that was it. I heard you say that while I was uploading Grub Buds, and I was like, what? So yeah, all right, cool. Have fun.
Fair enough. Yeah, but that's actually, come to think of it, one of my keys to the game. So we're gonna get into it. Chiefs will win if these 3 things happen. So, do you guys have any Chiefs win if situations?
So this one's like kind of obvious. If the Chiefs win the turnover battle, they will win. But I'd take it a step less. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't have any turnovers, the Chiefs will win.
Okay.
So like if Clyde comes in and has a fumble or whatever, that's not going to cost the Chiefs the game.
Yeah. Okay. You think the game?
I think it hinges on Mahomes playing safe with the football.
Okay. Aaron, do you have any?
Yeah, like if we want to quantify mistakes, like I think that's something to look at too. Like if the Chiefs will win if they have 45 or less penalty yards. Okay. And maybe you turn that into like, I don't know, 6 or 7 penalties or less. Like only having 3 in this game, I think just extending those drives, making sure that you're not shooting yourself in the foot on defense. Those are, if I was going to put numbers on them, which I don't know if those numbers correlate with winning or not, but to me, it sounds like they do.
Sure.
So I'm going with those.
Sure. My thing is the Chiefs will win if Travis Kelce once again has 2 touchdowns. If the Ravens can't control Travis Kelce, the game is going to be over.
Subscribe.
That's
a good one.
It will be over. So real quick, I just wanted to go over last week's. So Truman's Chiefs will win if. His first one was if the Chiefs score 21 points, they'll win. They scored 21 points, they won.
Cha-ching.
Check. The second one is the Chiefs will win if they pass for 265 yards. They didn't, only 215. But they still won. So count it. Check. Truman actually didn't give a third reason last week. I just wanted to point that out. It was really funny. He kept talking and then just forgot that he didn't give a third reason. But mine were Travis Kelce 2 touchdowns in the win. Check. Happened.
Yep.
MVS no drops was my second one. Check.
Cha-ching.
No drops. And Pat throws 3 touchdowns. Didn't happen. Still won. Only 2 touchdowns for Pat.
Yeah, because of the Pacheco run, right?
Yes, because Pacheco ran the other one and Harrison Butker nailed 2 field goals that weren't even close to missing.
Nice.
Down the middle. That's my goat, man. How about Butker? How good has Butker been this season? He's missed like what, like one extra point and like maybe like
he missed like a field goal against the Patriots and they had like the announcer jinx right before it or something. Yeah. It was pretty late in the season.
Yeah, he's missed like 3 kicks out of like 57 or something this whole year. Been amazing. Yeah. Okay, so there's your Chiefs win if. How about the Chiefs lose if? Do you guys have any? We need 3, so.
Yes, I do.
Or we can all do 3. Doesn't matter.
The Chiefs will lose if they punt the ball 4 or more times.
You think they'll need to score on most of their possessions?
I think they'll need to score on most of their possessions, and I've always wondered why we don't count punts as turnovers. A little bit. Like I get it in that like it happens happens in the game all the time. Everybody would average 7 turnovers if that was the case.
Yeah, 3, but only 3 punts in this last game, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I think the Bills punted twice and we punted once.
Yes.
I think that was it.
Yeah, just getting into their territory, because I really think our defense is so much heads and tails better above anything the Ravens have seen that like if we get 3 field goals, we might be good. Obviously, we want more points than that.
Right.
Yeah, but just getting onto their side and
So wait,
generating
what's
points from
your
that way.
Chiefs will lose if
they punt? Did I say 4 or 5 or more times?
I think you said 4 or more.
Okay, maybe I think I meant 5 or more.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 punts, if you sprinkle those out, those aren't going to matter as much. But if we're punting a lot, if this becomes that 14 to 13 battle, I don't want to deal with that.
I think if the Chiefs show up with a Bengals like offense where they're not exactly scoring a bunch of touchdowns, but they're getting a field goal every time, I think once again 21 points. W. Evan?
I'm gonna say if the Ravens have someone rush for over 100 yards.
Just anybody.
Yes, so Lamar or maybe like Gus Edwards might burn us or
Right,
something
yeah.
like.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh, Gus Edwards. I'm so scared.
The bus.
Gus the bus.
I think the Ravens win if they sack Patrick Mahomes 3 or more times.
Yeah.
I think Patrick can take 2 sacks. I think 3 is a lot. So I think if they sack Patrick Mahomes 3 times, that probably kills 3 drives. But once again, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the history of the game on 3rd and 20 plus. So
Yeah.
I think he converts at like 60% or something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I think. Or I think if Harrison Butker misses more than 1 kick, I think he'll miss a kick, and I think we can still win if he misses a kick.
Yeah.
But if he misses 2, I think it's done because I think on a lot it's going to come down to. I think it's going to be close. Right now the Ravens are 3-point favorites, so I think it'll come down to that 3 points margin. I think if once again it shows up like the Bills game, our kicker made more kicks, we won game.
Hell yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
that's kind of my thing. And real quick, I want to revisit last week because I thought it was also pretty funny because Truman and I actually went perfect on the Chiefs will lose if. So mine were if the Chiefs have 3 turnovers or more, we'll lose. We didn't have 3 turnovers, we won. I said if Isaiah Pacheco rushes less than 10 times, he rushed for exactly 15. I know a lot of people were sweating that one because on most sports books, the over-under for Pacheco carries was 14.5.
And he rushed the last 3
Yes,
or whatever.
And he got his 15th carry on the last play of the game. Wow. So it was close. But yeah, I think if Isaiah Pacheco runs 10 or more times, the Chiefs will win. And my third one was if Pat throws 2 picks, we'll lose. And he threw 0 picks because it's playoff Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah.
Truman's was 2+ turnovers. Didn't happen. So we won. Truman said we'll also lose if our special teams are bad. Our special teams were great. I guess Tommy Townsend's punt could have been better, but once again, his punts that went to the back, his one punt that went to the back of the end zone was not his fault. The runners should have been looking for the ball. It was a great punt.
It bounced at like the 5.
Yeah,
I mean,
it bounced in a really good spot. But the special teams were really good, so we won. And Truman said if the Chiefs play like they play in the regular season, we'll lose. It's playoffs versus the Bills, Truman. Come on.
Yeah.
I'd also like my last note that I have on these little sticky notes is that we played nothing like we played not different at all in Buffalo versus Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has proven that home field advantage means nothing to him. He has never been phased a single time. The noise has never gotten to him, so we can stop worrying about that. And there is a 0% chance that Baltimore is a more intimidating place to play than Buffalo, because as tortured as Bills fans are, they are top 2 fans in the whole league. Probably top 1, honestly.
They are insane.
They are elite. They are probably the best fan base in the NFL. And unfortunately, they are the saddest fan base in the NFL right now.
Hide your tables.
Yeah, hide your tables. Reach out to your local Bills fan. It's rough for them right now. But, yep, that's my Chiefs lose if. Now, we're going to get into it, boys. I want some score predictions for this game. Me, personally, I'm going 24-17 Chiefs. I think it's going to be more of a defensive game. I think that Harrison Butker nails his field goals and his field goal in this situation. And I'm not sure that the Ravens kicker does. I think Justin Tucker's been on a slide. He's looking a lot worse than he's been. Seriously. I think it might. He might almost be leaning towards retirement. I know he's missed some kicks this year.
Yeah, I kind of remember that now that you say that. So.
Yeah, I'm going 24-17 Chiefs.
I'll go pretty much right with you, but 23-17. I think Chiefs make 3 field goals instead of
I like that a lot, actually.
instead of 3 touchdowns. But
I'm going to go with 34-20 Chiefs.
Nice.
Like,
Popping off on
Taking
it?
the over.
Yes.
Exposing the fraud defense
Yes.
is what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the way they looked so crisp in this last game.
The Chiefs did look.
The Chiefs look so crisp. Everybody looks so crisp. I think everybody's locked in. Getting in, winning back-to-back Super Bowls, having that as motivation, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
We've seen it from across the board to get to back-to-back Super Bowls with teams falling off after their Super Bowl year and everything like that. This team just looks like they're clicking on all cylinders. I can't bang that drum enough of like.
So you think the Chiefs are going to continue to click and they're going to have like their best
Yes,
offensive game of the
and-
season outside of the Bears game?
Their missed tackle percentage is 6.6%. I know that's a really obscure stat, but that is like one of the best that you can possibly have with like all the tackles that happen during the game. I love being able to just get out, see ball, hit ball, especially in the playoffs. So 34-20. And yeah, I think we could see some longer touchdowns. We could see some much longer runs. Maybe Richie James takes one back. It's worth
Boy,
a thought.
wouldn't that be great?
Owen's goat,
My
Richie
goat,
James.
Richie James. Also, touching on that, I think that's the best bit ever. When any player makes any play, you go, "Hey, that's my goat X person." Obviously, you heard me do that a lot at the watch party this weekend, but I will never not do that. It's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, so we got 23-17 from Evan. We got 34-20 from Aaron, and I predicted a 24-17. Yeah, how about them Chiefs handlers to read? Thank you for your subscription. Oh, hey. I'm asking you, I don't know if you're still in here, but as a Bengals fan, would you rather see the Chiefs or the Ravens win? Because I know Bengals, Ravens,
Great
they all hate
question.
each other. I know that Ravens fans, I've seen this on Twitter. that
All the
allegedly
pussy it can
when
eat, you know?
Joe Burrow went
Like
out
it's
against
a
the
sugar
Ravens.
cube. Just
Ravens fans were like mocking Joe Burrow like the whole time. No claps from getting off the field. Apparently they were like vile towards Joe Burrow when he got a season-ending injury in Baltimore. So I've seen some Bengals fans say, I still hate the Chiefs more, go Ravens. But I've seen a non-insignificant number of Bengals fans saying it's disgusting that I have to say this, but go Chiefs. So I'm interested to see what Handlers has to say as we go on. So, okay, I think that's just going to about sum it up for our Chiefs content. What's next?
We have betting
Overreactions.
combat. Oh, never mind.
Not yet.
Yes.
But we do have the overreactions. Okay. So I'm going to go to my screenshots first, and then I'm going to go to the Twitter. We can go from there. So, okay. From Allison, she says, Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
I don't think it's an overreaction either. I think that just after this last game, I think the Bills were the major hurdle for the Chiefs. I look at these last remaining three teams, and I'm like, man, we can beat any of these guys. Like,
Yeah.
I just think that Josh Allen was the quarterback that was going to do it. Like, I think Lamar's obviously the best quarterback that's not named Patrick Mahomes left. But I think Josh Allen was the scarier one for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think that just Chiefs team is built to contain Lamar better than every other defense because they're going to take away his throws, they're going to make him run, and I'm not sure Lamar can get to the third read.
Especially with that run that the Bills had, it just seemed like they were invincible after we hear about how Sean McDermott tried to use 9/11 as
That was just so crazy.
as a motivation booster. They just went on a crazy run. Thankfully, they're gone.
Yeah, so, okay, not an overreaction off the board. Big Steve says, I didn't watch a single second. I think that's an overreaction. I don't know. I think you should be watching.
Yes.
Agreed, I guess.
Yeah, you should be watching, Steve. Come on. Every Man a Wildcat says, McCole Hardman should never be allowed on the field again. I think that's an overreaction. I know I was really upset at the time, but McCole's made some plays for us in the past. I think he has a leash. I think there's a reason we didn't see him after that play again on the field, but we all know we're gonna see some more.
McColl's fast enough. He could be downing Tommy Townsend punts. You know, he could make it there.
Yes. Good point.
Put in Echo though. I mean, what are we doing? Why is Echo Boydo not out?
I think
there
he
for
might have
this?
been injured or like not in the like not available for the game
Well,
yesterday.
get him available.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey says Mahomes is the GOAT, and I'm tired of people pretending like he isn't, and that is not an overreaction. I think just the first throw to Travis Kelce was just now a ridiculous tight window throw that he just makes look effortless.
It's an overreaction.
Nah, an overreaction.
Still Brady.
Yeah.
It's an overreaction unless we get this one. If we get the Super Bowl this year, not an overreaction.
Yeah. This
Super
one.
Bowls before turning 29 is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But this one is like, I put it in last week or maybe a couple weeks ago of like, this would be the most impressive one. I still think so. This would be the most impressive playoff run in Super Bowl. Like, if this one works, then we're just willing to keep the conversation going. It's just crazy getting 7 Super Bowls, man. Like, I can't, we're not even halfway there. So
Yeah, that'd be wild. But once again, Tom Brady got his last one. He was what, 44?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mahomes isn't even 30 yet. Winning a Super. If we win this one, we're winning a Super Bowl every other year.
Basically.
We're in a great spot as Chiefs fans.
His
man. This
floor is the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, he's never finished worse in the AFC Championship game. And as of right
Overtime in the
now,
AFC Championship
as of right
game.
now, he hasn't finished worse than overtime in the AFC Championship game,
Yeah.
which is just insane. Framps says K-State women's basketball unfortunately won't win the Big 12 now that Lee is out for 4 weeks. I haven't
like-
check the standings. How many games ahead are they, or are they tied?
They're one ahead.
Are they winning? Did they lose tonight?
They are tied in the fourth now. They were down like 12 points in the first half against Baylor. Now they're tied 47 all in the fourth. So
Yeah, and
we'll have to revisit this because we're
yeah,
going to win this game.
if they win this game, they are winning the Big 12. If they win this game without Lee on the road against Baylor, we've only won there once in the last 20 years for the women's team, without our best player. Yeah, I think we're going to win the Big 12 because Lee will be back around
Lee saving his
Valentine's Day.
yeah, I think it's an overreaction. I mean, we can easily still win the Big 12 even if we lose this one and others because, like,
Truman's calling. Hello. What's up, buddy? Oh, he's calling in. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker.
He's going to be like, you guys have not had your mics on all
Yeah, I was
all
afraid you were going to say
podcast.
something worrying. What's up, Truman?
Truman Steen of sound, mind, and body would like to admit that I was probably wrong about signing McCall Hart.
What makes you say that, Truman?
No, nothing. You know, just the way I'm feeling right now. You know.
Interesting. Okay. I will tell you, though, that he'll probably make 1 or 2 good plays in the next game, don't you think?
Well, you know, of course he will. He's always exciting, right? But you just know he's got to fumble it across the goal line at some point.
Fair enough. So, do you have real quick? Do you have an under or overreaction? I mean, a reaction for us?
One reaction. I believe that the Chiefs will hold Lamar Jackson under 50 yards rushing. There's my overreaction.
Ooh.
Whoa, that's spicy.
All right. Thank you, Truman. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you at bowling tomorrow. I mean, Wednesday. Goodbye, my friend. Thank you for calling in. Ooh, under 50 yards rushing. Do I dare say that's not an overreaction? That's kind of scary, guys.
Lamar had 76. Is that? Or Josh Allen had 76.
Let me confirm that for you.
yeah. It's an overreaction because he's the only guy out there. He's going to put, like, and this is his time. Like, last game was, like, the prove it game of, like, I'm not a fraud at all. But, like, this one, like, he is expecting, you know, this is the time to win this game. I think he'll put his body on the line for the 50th yard just to show Truman he's wrong. Like, come on.
Yeah, as we know, Lamar's listening into the show, which is why he's been fueled because I've been calling him a fraud all year. But yeah, so yeah, Josh Allen 2 touchdowns, 72 yards on the ground last week. But I think Aaron's right. I mean, we know Snead is going to clamp Flowers. So who does that leave? Glass Bones and Paper Skin Man, OBJ, Isaiah Likely, and who else?
Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay. Yeah, no, guys that had less than 400 yards receiving.
Right.
So, like...
Against our other corner, which is Trent McDuffie. Man. Oof.
Yeah.
Like, and listen, I know that the Ravens corners are good too, but Patrick Mahomes puts it in a place where it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction, actually. I think that the Chiefs will probably hold him. I think the lights might be a little bit too bright for Lamar.
Who's going to be the quarterback spy on Lamar? What do you think?
Probably Willie Gay again. He'll be back.
Nice.
I mean, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton leads the team in tackles.
Of course.
I think if there's one person who could hunt him down like the shark.
Time to re-sign Frank Clark. Is that what you're saying here?
No, dude, I know Chris Jones was really arguing for the re-signing, and Revich was like, "No, he's washed."
Yes.
Okay. Another one from Frams. Packers did not deserve to win that game, but neither did the 49ers. Packers had plenty of chances to put the game away early and late in the game. 49ers got bailed out despite being outplayed by the Packers all game. I don't think that's an overreaction. I do think the Packers looked better. However, they also showed us why they lost, which is they're not ready yet. Their quarterback, Jordan Love, made that awful throw late in the game, which is just what we see from, Jordan Love is essentially a rookie quarterback right now. I know this is year 4 for him, but he's essentially this is his first full year starting. He's essentially a rookie. And that's what you see from inexperienced quarterbacks. I mean, that first game that the Chiefs had against Justin Herbert, we remember it was like 3rd and 1, and Justin Herbert had like 20 yards of space to run into on 3rd down, and he chucked it to the end zone and got picked, and they lost because of it. And that's kind of what we saw with Jordan Love. He forced that throw, and they lost because of it. So I don't think that's an overreaction. I do think the Packers did outplay the Niners, but this is what happens in the playoffs. The team that makes less mistakes and less coaching mistakes wins the game.
Yeah. I don't think it was an overreaction or not an overreaction. I think that's just a reaction to the reality of what happened.
Yeah, just spot on.
Yeah, just spot on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I also didn't watch that game, so.
Vincent says, when playing any game, sometimes you lose. When playing any game, sometimes you win and sometimes your opponent loses.
Not an overreaction. I get that. Like, we talk about, like, this whole season, anytime the Chiefs lose, we're like, oh, the Chiefs beat themselves. That's sort of like what that's saying, right? Like,
right.
The Raiders didn't beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat themselves. The Packers didn't beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so on, right?
All right, now let me check the Twitter.
I've got a couple.
One last time. You got some more?
Yep.
Go ahead, Evan.
Not football related. Bourne is the best action franchise.
Overreaction.
I think that's a small overreaction. I think it's really, really good, but Transformers is right there. And if you just exclude the last 5 movies, Transformers 1, 2, 3 are great. 2 is terrible, but
Dark of the Moon.
3 is good. Revenge of the Fallen is bad.
All right. Next, someone said in retaliation to that, Fast and Furious is the best action franchise.
If you once again look at the first 5 movies, then yes. If your memory wipes at Fast 5, then it's great. The second they go to space.
Well, I'd say not an overreaction for that one, because that's kind of the one that I was thinking of, along with James Bond. But that's
James Bond is right there, Evan. That's tough. Have you seen a bad James Bond movie?
Mm-hmm.
Even the classics, man, they're so good.
Yeah,
and there's 40.
Exactly. I'm sure Kingsman also in there.
I do
too,
love
probably.
Kingsman. Alien's also there, but that's not as much action.
Yeah, but the first one's like a horror. I'd say more.
Yeah. Then Aliens is more of an action.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one. Well, unless Evan has more.
I've got one that I don't understand. Stanislav Petrov is the most important person of the 21st century.
Who said that?
My guy Calvin.
Who is Stanislav?
I have no idea who Stanislav Petrov is.
Let's find out who that is. Stanislav. Oh.
Stanislav on these
he's-
nuts.
He's the guy who did not launch the nukes when the Russians had the nuclear alarm. So in the 80s, in the late 80s.
So the 20th century then.
Yes. But, I mean, also, coincidentally, the 21st century as well.
Yeah.
So Stanislav Petrov, I'm remembering now, in the 80s during the Cold War, the Russians had a nuclear alarm where they had a test. Well, not a test, but they had a malfunction, and their equipment was saying the U.S. had launched a nuke against Russia. And obviously, Russia's code was to fire nukes back. But this guy, Petrov, refused to give the go-ahead on the nuclear alarm, saying there's no way, and to double, triple check. And so, like, he held off for, like, I think he was like a ridiculous amount of time. And then eventually they, yeah, it was a false alarm. But
So,
that's
not-
who Stanislav Petrov is.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Seems pretty important.
It's a really important guy in history. And a much less serious one coming from your boy Adam. He says the Super Bowl is actually the AFC Championship. Tooney possibly being out. Okay, well, he's got a couple here. The Super Bowl is actually the AFC Championship. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that the AFC Championship, whoever wins will win the Super Bowl.
The NFC's so freaking bad, too. Like, can we just, really just kind of say that the AFC Championship might be more impactful long-term in terms of legacy and going to the Super Bowl than a Super Bowl win against, if the Lions get there?
I'm worried that the Lions are going to win the NFC Championship and then lose by 20 to whoever makes it from the AFC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely could happen.
I'm worried about
Well,
that.
the AFC has 10 of the best 15 quarterbacks
I
in the
know.
league, right?
And I think
Yeah.
every year we see this, the best quarterback at that time is winning the Super Bowl. And the notable exception being Patrick Mahomes in the 2020 Super Bowl. Because you might say, oh, Patrick Mahomes was terrible at that game. Patrick Mahomes was not terrible in the 2020 Super Bowl. Everybody else was. He hit 2 players in the end zone in their face mask.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. His next take is Tooney possibly being out is a huge issue that may cost us the game. He's not going to be out, but if he was out, it might cost us the game. I agree.
No.
His third take, Karloftis is a monster. I don't think that's an overreaction.
Furious George.
He, I've never met him in person, so I can't judge him by that standard. Is he a monster? He could be the biggest little kitty cuddler and how dare you judge that man, whoever
Fair.
this is.
It's your boy Adam. It's Adam.
Yeah.
Number 4, his fourth take, we get 2 interceptions versus the Ravens if we win. I could see a Lamar pick. Maybe 1 tip pick and 1 heave at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I was feeling more like a fumble from Lamar.
That is what I'm feeling too. I'm feeling he gets the random Jalen Hurts kind of thing where he just loses it.
Yeah. Well, and he'll also just kind of swing it out
He does do
he's going to
the crab the crab tree.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's an overreaction either. And this last one, before we get to my take. Stephon Diggs does not stay with the Bills after the season, probably traded away.
Stephon Diggs is going on to reality television after this season. That's where he's meant to be.
He is a diva, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Minnesota let him go. It seemed crazy at the time, but man, he kind of looks like a locker room cancer.
Yeah. Not an overreaction.
Yeah.
Send him to Carolina.
You're going to Cancun, buddy. What was my take that I had? I had a take. It was about the Chiefs, and I forgot. Well, it's gone forever now. I don't remember. Okay, but that's all we've got for overreactions with the Owerreactor. So we're going to move on now. Our last one, we're going to talk about our playoff brackets. So this one is mine. Obviously, Aaron, move your head to the left or right real quick. So obviously, I picked the Green Bay San Francisco game correctly. Go me. But I picked both of the teams incorrectly for the NFC Championship game. So, for the NFC divisional round leading into it. So it is Lions versus Niners in the NFC Championship. And after seeing this last one, I think we probably see Lions to the Super Bowl. I think that the quarterback factor is what's going to do San Francisco in. And obviously got the one side of the AFC Championship game wrong with the Browns getting there. But to be fair, that means I only missed one game in the AFC playoffs. So, well, I guess, sorry, two. But it's Ravens-Chiefs. I do still think the Chiefs get it done. I think that, I don't know. If the Chiefs lose, I think that there's going to be dropped balls and fumbles, and the Chiefs just lost it. But I don't know, man. Just seeing us beat Buffalo like we did, like should have been winning by 13, probably. It just amped me up for this week. Oh, I remember my take. The most important part, my take, is this. The most important part of the Chiefs winning versus the Bills is now I have time to catch up on the franchise. You know, the Chiefs YouTube series, The Franchise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Have you not watched it, Aaron?
no.
Aaron, Evan, have you watched it?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so that's your homework. You need to go home and look up The Franchise on the Chiefs YouTube. So you'll go to playlists. It'll be The Franchise 2023, 2024. You have enough time to watch the whole series. It's 30-minute mini documentaries. It's like 20 to 30-minute.
Like Hard Knocks,
Yes.
but produced in-house.
Yes, you will absolutely fall in love with it. You're going to go back and also probably end up watching all of the two previous seasons of the franchise. The franchise started in 2019 for the Chiefs for that season. So I guess there's 5 seasons now. But, man, it's really good, guys. You got to go watch it. But so I guess I'm the only one that can grade that. Not an overreaction. It's the most important part. Okay, moving on.
Wait, so if the Chiefs had lost, would you not have had time?
Well, no, because
You just would have been like,
I
I'm done with this.
yes, I wouldn't want to watch it because I know what happens at the end.
Nice.
Okay, so this is Truman's bracket. He nailed it. He got every single pick right, except for the
Browns, yeah.
and he didn't get Cowboys right either
picking the Browns?
because they were hot. Because we were thinking
Flacco's Linsanity run.
well, the main reason is that we were thinking that one, the Browns were really hype and their defense looked great, and Myles Garrett looked unstoppable. And then we were also picking the Browns because the Ravens did the huge no-no of the double sit.
Yeah, the 2 week, like they took off week 18, even though they
Yeah.
had the bye week anyway.
And normally teams put their starters in for a series or something to make sure they still got it. So I was low on the Ravens going into this.
Okay.
But Truman
Fair
pretty
enough.
much nailed the NFC side, only picking one game wrong on the NFC side. Obviously, he got most of the AFC side correct as well. But both of us predicted a Kansas City, San Francisco Super Bowl. So, but right now, it's looking like a 3-3 matchup in the Super Bowl to me. Obviously, we're all biased for the Chiefs because we're Chiefs fans. But this is a Chiefs podcast. So shut up. These are my takes. If you want to do Niners podcast, go do it. I'm sure there's a billion of them you can find anyway. Okay, so now we're on to the betting section. We're going to talk about the parlay, which unfortunately went 2 out of 3 this week. I'm actually pretty pissed about it. But so let me pull up our picks here real quick. So I believe it was Chiefs and Lions, and unfortunately, we also picked the
Texans.
and in our 3-team parlay there because at the time the Monday night game was still going, so we could not pick the Bucks or the Lions because they were still playing. So now it is the parlay of the week because it's only 2 picks. So guys, what are we thinking? I'm thinking you just go Chiefs Lions on the double money line. You get a nice plus 750.
Both underdogs.
Both underdogs.
Yeah.
Wait, only plus 750?
Yeah, it's only plus 7. Well, at least on mine.
Yeah. Today, when I was playing around with that, with the Chiefs, we're at plus 166, and the Lions at plus 240. It was like plus 831 on FanDuel.
Personally, I'm just kicking myself that I didn't get it on the Chiefs plus 900 Super Bowl odds.
Yeah.
I was listening to Dahm. That's true. I was listening to last week's episode today, and Truman was talking about how his cash out was up to $32 last week. I wonder he's got to be positive.
So I did a $50 bet on FanDuel before the season, like because of their
The buyback thing where they
where they give you
bet.
$5 free bet for each win, which like even if you don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, you think they're going to get 10 wins, which they did. So it's a pretty good bet. So I think.
What were the odds on the beginning?
Let's see. It was at plus 600, like in the
Nice.
summer. And so I want to say during the Bills game, it might have gotten down to like a $22 cash out. And then looks like right now it's a $53 cash out.
Are you going to cash it out?
No. Just let it ride. I mean, I got my money back already, so.
I respect it. Besides, I don't think you need to cash that out.
Yeah.
It's just a really exciting time to be a Chiefs fan, you know? And just to think, just, like 6 years ago, we were where the Bills were at.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Except, the
exactly.
Chiefs did win the ancient Super Bowl, but ancient Super Bowls really don't mean much. At least the way I'm thinking. Bears fans aren't going to be like, well, we have 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about what the betting segment this right now. The Chiefs team total is 20.5. That seems so insanely low.
For this week?
Yeah, for this week
Oh, geez,
against
I'm
the
gonna get on
Ravens. And it's at minus 110. Like 20.5 seems kind of crazy to me. That seems really low. And also just being a plus 156 dog with Jordan. Like Mahomes is Jordan. He is that good across the everything all of time. He's got not the go yet, but he's like, you can give him all the other praise across that. So I don't it would be like, okay, yeah, here's the analogy I forgot I was going to say. It would be like if you bet like game 1 on the 1993 finals, I want to say, with Jordan, and then he's facing Stockton and Malone, and Scottie Pippen's hurt, and you're like, Scottie Pippen's hurt, we're going to make it plus 150 on the Bulls. No, hell no. Why? Like, I don't know what they're looking at, so.
I'm actually going to bet that right now, Aaron.
Nice.
It'd be like, actually, we only think the Chicago Bulls are only going to score like 92 points because Scottie Pippen's out. I don't get it.
Yeah, so I actually went and adjusted and did a bet on Niners-Lions. Right now, it's Niners -7, which I think is crazy. So I went and moved my slider. I went to Detroit plus 3.5 and laid some money on that.
Yeah.
Which I think is a surefire bet. But I'm going to go ahead and bet on that Chiefs bet right now. What did you say it was?
20.5 over under points scored by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let me see if I can do that.
Also, just a quick in-game update. K-State women are up 58-55 with 11 seconds left.
Holy shit.
Baylor has the ball.
Pull that up. Can you get the game on your phone?
Yeah, it's going to be on Fox Sports, whose screen has been like half frozen the whole game, I think. I've just been following the ESPN.
And Baylor had 39 points at half. So they've scored 16 points in the second half, dude. The number 13 team in the nation.
They've only fouled twice.
That's pretty good.
Oh, my. Oh, we just got a big rebound, I think.
Can't tell.
Yeah, I think they fouled us on it.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm seeing what they're calling here.
I'm showing a foul on Serena Sundell at 10 seconds.
Yes, because we only have one foul left with 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And, they're not shooting free throws till you hit 5, so it's probably a smart foul.
Oh, yeah. Like, just chip it away.
Wait, so we fouled them?
Yes,
Yeah.
but, it's a good strategy of that.
Right.
Just waste time. And then they shot a long 3, went off the backboard, didn't touch rim even, and missed another layup. And we got the rebound, I think, and they...
Okay.
100% sure.
Here, move your mic over. I want to get this live commentary.
There's 2.7 seconds left. There is a Baylor timeout going on right now.
And we have the ball?
I believe we have the ball. I'll confirm here.
Yeah,
In just a
ESPN
second.
is saying Ziana Walker had a defensive rebound.
Defensive rebound.
And then a Baylor timeout somehow with us having possession
This is
of it.
live
Yeah,
on
that's-
Dumb That's True.
that's
K-State
crazy.
Women looking to close out a win at
Okay,
Baylor.
it's Baylor's ball. I think Ziana Walker must have traveled on the rebound. So they have 2 seconds left. They're passing it in. They dribbled it out. Got a blocked shot on the three-pointer. No good. K-State women just won on the road without their best
Holy
Baylor
shit, that's huge.
against the number 13 team in the nation.
Sweet. K-State is
Yes.
now the number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
South
so
Carolina.
like if you're a K-State fan, get into Bramlage this Saturday as they play BYU, I think, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
$10 GA tickets. You can pretty much sit in the student section.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
I'll be going if anyone from KC wants to ride with me. So.
And you've been into a couple of the games. And how's the atmosphere been? Has it been full?
I went to the last 2 weeks. So Texas, Aaron and I went together. I think there was about 7,500, which is about a little under 75% maybe.
Yeah, it's 1,100 capacity.
Yeah, or 11,000, yeah.
11,000,
And that was a pretty good crowd. The KU game that we had this past weekend, there was 9,600.
Dang.
So,
wow.
could be looking at a full crowd this Saturday
That's
if
very exciting.
Yeah.
fans show up.
Yeah, like the only places that don't really have fans is behind the goals and stuff, but like I don't think that part matters as much. Once you just have everyone crowding the court and everything like that, it's so
You're so much,
crisp.
and
It's-
you're really close to the court.
Yeah.
In Bramlage. There's
Yes.
not a
Yeah.
lot of space.
yeah.
But that's
It's
really
pretty
exciting. Wow. Okay. So, sorry about that, guys. We're all K-State fans. It's a really big game for our women. We're gonna do the parlay. So, well, actually, we just did it. So yeah. So, are you guys with me on Chiefs Lions?
I like it. That gives you the best odds and like
I just can't see either of those favorites winning.
Did you do Lions money line?
Yeah,
or...
just money lines.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the Lions get up, for sure.
the 49ers love to fall apart in the NFC Championship game. So
That's true. Hopefully they can get it done so the Chiefs can have a easy win in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Hopefully. I don't want to jinx anything.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move into our top 5. Top 5 players that are left in the playoffs. I have my 5 already. If you guys need a little bit more time.
I've got my 5.
Okay, sweet. I'll go first, and then Aaron and Evan, you guys can both go.
Yeah.
So for me, number 5, I have Lamar. I think he's an excellent player. I love to clown him and say that he's overrated, but obviously that's more of a meme than anything else. I call him Lamar B because he runs the ball more than he throws it. Pretty funny. But Lamar is an excellent player, and if the Chiefs can keep him in check, it will lead them to a victory. So my number 5 is Lamar. Number 4, Deebo Samuel. He is electric. The Lions are going to need to contain him if they want to have a hope of beating the Niners. But Brock Purdy isn't that good, so maybe that'll be a factor. Number 3, Travis Kelce. This is where I put Travis Kelce. I think he's a generational player. If the Ravens want to win the game, they're going to have to hold him to 40 or less yards.
Mm-hmm.
And if Travis Kelce is allowed to have any impact, whether that's drawing players away or making catches, the Chiefs are going to win because MVS has got his confidence back. Number 2, this is where I put Nick Bosa. He is an absolutely fantastic player. He's a game wrecker. Is another player the Lions are going to have to control if they want to even have a hope of winning the game. And you already know who my number 1 is, so we can just...
McCole Hardman.
Nah, that's right. No, obviously Patrick Mahomes. So from the bottom, right back up to the top, I got Lamar, then Samuel, then then Kelce, then Bosa, and then Mahomes.
Okay.
Aaron?
All right, so
Dan Campbell.
yes, Dan the man.
The
Campbell.
red challenge flag.
He's so cool. I love him. No, I did some research.
Okay,
and
I like it.
really kind of just juggled the numbers and said, okay, I got it.
All right.
And I'm gonna give it 2 outside looking in.
Okay,
like OLIs.
two first outs.
I'm gonna say Aiden Hutchinson and Nick Bosa are both outside my top 5.
That's not ridiculous.
But just barely. Yeah, both game wreckers and whatnot. But I couldn't choose between them, so I just kind of like left them out. Number 5, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy has been on a tear this year. Like, he has one game where he has less than 48 yards, and in these playoff games, he's had, I think it was, so in this last game, he had 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. And in the first game, he had 10 catches, 100. This is one of the things I wrote down, and I can't remember exactly. Either way, he had 13 catches between the last 2 games. He's been extremely dominant, just running away from defenders, and like has like a large yards after catch thing.
Yeah. He's
So I
very
love
good.
him. Yeah. Number 4, I had Chris Jones. And yeah, just having that ability to take defenders or take offensive linemen away and double teams and everything like that. Number 3, I had Lamar, of course. And then number 2, I put McCaffrey. And
Ooh, yeah.
like, because I think he's still just got that like game breaker. Like if
he should have been up for the MVP, man.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, he's the reason why the 49ers are where they are right now. And then Pat the man the Pat
Of course.
at the top.
Of course.
All right.
So sorry, just real quick. Go back to your 5.
So number 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Detroit Lions. Number 4, Chris Jones. Yeah. Number 3, Lamar. Number 2, McCaffrey, the man from Stanford. And number 1, Pat from Texas
From
Tech.
White House.
Yeah. Denton.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna kind of go off of who I think is gonna have like the most impact this next week.
Sure.
So we're gonna go with number 5, Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Number 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 3, Rashee Rice.
Oh, wow. Spicy.
Number 2, Lamar Jackson. And of course, number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
I was getting scared. You're going to say something crazy like Trent McDuffie or something. But yes, that's a good list. Go back to your 5.
All right, so number 5 was Travis Kelce. Number 4 was what?
Wait, never mind. Sorry. I
Number 4 was Christian McCaffrey.
No, you
said
said
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah, sorry, I messed you
Aaron,
up.
you're throwing it off.
Number 3 was Rashee Rice. Number 2 was Lamar Jackson, and number 1 was Patrick Mahomes.
I like it.
I was just so surprised that we got some Amon-Ra St. Brown hype.
He is a
Other
beast,
than me.
to be fair.
Yeah.
He is a beast.
1,500 yards this year.
Yeah, that's a
Very,
lot.
very quiet 1,500 yards.
Alrighty, guys. It's time for the Pop Culture Minute. But first, we need to thank our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/opendisaster. We have obviously Aaron, Joe, Skylar, Dylan, and Meltbox opening soon in the Iron District. I almost threw up saying that. But yeah, your continued support makes this show possible, and we really appreciate you. Anybody have any pop culture they want to talk about? Because I've got one if necessary.
For me, just like we were just talking about, just come out and support the K-State women's basketball team whenever you can.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really exciting time for our women. Our women have a chance to legitimately go very deep.
And with the women's tournament, if you're a top 4 seed, you get to host the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament. So
Yeah, that's
we're
right.
looking in pretty good position for that right now.
Oh,
So
yeah. That's really exciting.
All right, well, that is kind of going to do it for us on Dahm. That's true. Aaron and Evan, thank you guys for subbing in for Truman. Truman was in Chicago this weekend for a work trip getting the Islanders head coach fired. But we will see you guys all next week. Don't forget to send in your hot takes and everything else. We love all of you. We love the Chiefs. We love Patrick Mahomes. Go Lions, right?
Go Lions.
I hope the lights are way too bright for Lamar.
Also, if you're going to go to the Super Bowl for any reason,
Hurry,
anyone
hurry,
is
hurry,
listening for Las Vegas, you want the Lions to win so that everything's cheaper.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. I can't find my mouse. It's on the other screen. See ya.